What is up everyone, and welcome back to a brand new vlog. And today you join me, well, this evening in Paris for the 2024 Retromobile. Now, I went last year, absolutely loved it, and here I am again. And I thought, why not better to kick the vlog with the auction here at Retromobile. And well, already we've got in with the media passes. We've got Speedtail, P1 and Senna. There's a lot of cool hypercars coming up for sale. And yeah, I'm kind of on the hunt here, tick off as many hypercars as I can and check out all the other stand stalls. You've got Kinson, Joe Macari, CSI Collectibles, Car Collector, so many hypercars on show. And yeah, we're already off to a good start when there is a Lamborghini Sian behind me. So without further ado, although I'm going to try and whiz around this whole event in about 2 hours, let's see what I can find. So without further ado, hope you enjoy the vlog. So starting off, we've got an Ultimate, very nice in the black and green. We've then got the Sian, one of 63, in a lovely white with that light blue pinstripe all around the car. Absolutely love this spec. Always cool to see a Sian. I feel like the last time I saw one of these was in Dubai, of one of them sat in the showroom. But this one, I'm really digging the spec. It's really clean on the car, full carbon roof. A new one to the list, next to a Countach with orange interior. And then next to that is a McLaren Senna. Very, very cool. And then his bigger brother, the McLaren P1. For me, I'd always pick the P1 over a Senna. However, I'm not going to complain seeing another Senna. And then to, well, I guess complete the trio, we have the Tadpole, as Sam Hard would say, the Speedtail. Very cool. In a quite a basic spec, next to what looks like the Heritage Forge GT. Very nice, but Speedtail, I mean, what do we think? When you compare it against the P1 and Senna, it's cool, but would you really buy this car? Personally, no, if I had the money. There's a lot of other things I'd rather buy, but is it cool? Yes, I love the cover wheels. They're just crazy, that carbon front that covers them. But this is the real deal. If we're gonna include these three, I'd always pick the P1. So while I'm recording this is the preview night, the private night, which I've been lucky enough to get media for here at the Retromobile 2024. Tomorrow it starts where all the public can come in, and already from preview, it is very busy. So I thought I'd film tonight's vlog. It's until 6 till 10 PM, so I've got some time to get around, but I also need to film all the phone clips and everything else. So skipping a few cars, but already one of my favorite cars here is an ex-Japanese green Ferrari TDF. One of 799 made, and honestly, one of my favorites. It might not be because of spec-wise, although seeing green on a Ferrari is always cool, but you know, the matching of red calipers and blue interior is, all I can say is very Japanese, but that is why I find this car so special, that this was originally a Japanese spec. And now it's here in Paris. Oh yeah, and it's also casually next to an MC12 Corsa, which actually did just start up a few minutes ago, which I will put in here right now. So here is one of my favorite cars of the event. This is the Bugatti Centodieci, one of 10 ever made. The only one finished in this blue with blue carbon fiber. And this is chassis #1, the first one built. And crazy enough, it's already my 5th one out of the 10. So it's great to see another one. It's so cool to see one in such a bright color, which I think suits the car really well. Of course, the Bugatti Centodieci plays a big part in the inspiration of the EB110, which happens to be right next to me. The car collector stand is very solid. However, they were supposed to have a Bugatti Chiron in the middle. It is now replaced with a Peugeot 205 Turbo, which actually is very cool in that livery. However, I would have rather a Bug. But from one of my favorite cars to the favorite of the entire show, it is the Pagani Zonda Cinque Roadster, #1 of 5. And although it is a car I have seen throughout the years quite a number of times, nothing will ever be a Cinque, let alone a Roadster. And just to be in front of a Cinque again, regardless if I've seen this, you know, at many events from Goodwood to London, you can never beat seeing a Cinque. So this is a new Koenigsegg for me, the Agera RS Prototype. Of course, 25 were made, but they made this prototype And do you know what? I actually really like the spec. You've got the blue interior, blue pinstripes added on with the yellow stripes around as well. The addition to the badge, pinstripes here and towards the side, on the wing mirrors and at the end of the wing. Very cool spec. Nice to add a new Koenigsegg to the list. And then we also have a 250 Bernaletta short wheelbase. We've then got the 250 GT Lusso and then the cabriolet version of the 250 GT. So quite a cool 250 lineup here, again at the car collector. It's nice to have the variety of the latest and greatest hypercars to the old school, you know, one of the best Ferraris ever made. What a surprise this is, and what a lineup. We have the new Project 1 AMG, Senna GTR, Porsche 918, F40, CGT and 959 all together in this lineup. But this has really taken me by surprise. I did not expect to see a brand new customer AMG Project 1, completely unregistered, and first time seeing it at this event, with some cool stickering, G358, so maybe something to do with the new owners, I don't know. I was about to say initials, but it'd be weird if you had numbers in your name. But how cool is it with the aero up intakes? And I don't know, the Project 1 has got mixed opinions, I feel like, online, but you know, when you see one in person like this, it is, yeah, it is something. It is rather cool, and I cannot wait to see more customer specs. What also makes me laugh about the Project 1 is how Mercedes did this badge is, of course, it's like a sticker, it's in the paint, but they've done it so it looks like it's glaring. As you can see, it looks like it's shining like a normal badge, but it's not, it's completely flat. But anyway, very cool to see the Project 1. We then have this rather cool Senna GTR in a very, I'd say normal spec, but you can't really say a Senna GTR is normal. A very nice, clean Porsche 918 Spyder. Got a Ferrari F40. And then we also have two of Porsche's legends, the Carrera GT and Porsche 959 with white wheels, which look so good. So now on the Fisken stand, another favourite of mine here at Retromobile is this incredible 911 GT1, but Evo, and it's actually road registered in the UK. It was owned by a massive big collector who I've filmed a lot of his cars before, but now it's with Fiskens, and I'm just so happy to finally see this. It used to be in the PlayStation livery. Now it's in the crazy orange and white and BBS gold wheels, which looks nuts. Just imagine taking this for a spin around London. How on earth they've made a GT1 road legal? I don't know. I don't know how you can even see in this car. I mean, look how long it is for one. Just two, how bonkers, and just, I don't know. Cars like this always make me laugh how they kept road registered, but I would literally be sprinting for all my life if I saw this go past me in London. But it's very cool to finally see this 911 GT1 Evo. And from the GT1, we then have the Fiskens Aston Martin Valkyrie, finished in the dark blue, and it just looks so good under these lights. I love the dark blue finish. This is again a Valkyrie I have seen, saw last year, the Concours d'Elegance, and now here in Paris. And yeah, you cannot get bored of a Valkyrie. Just look how good it looks. Even though it looks like it's got a moustache on, just the Valkyrie is a top tier hypercar. And yeah, one day I'd love to experience to go out in this car. But for now, even just seeing one, not even driving, it just makes my day. Just look at it. It is very rare these days to see an SLS AMG Black Series in the Solar Beam yellow, let alone a GT3 version right next to it. I believe the 45th anniversary edition one, which looks absolutely mental with the massive carbon splitter at the front, the different hood vents and racing spec with a bigger wing. But it's so cool to see one of these, one of 350, and to me, one of the most underrated supercars. God, if I ever won the lottery, I'd love to own a Black Series. I prefer this to any of the new stuff like the GT R Black Series. For me, the SLS is probably my favourite one. So we then end up with the SL65 Black Series. However, you can call me out in the comments, but I'm not too sure why it says it's a one of one. I'm sure they made a fair amount of these, but it's very cool to see a trio of these, all different, but probably the rarest out of them all. Next up we have a Saleen S7R GT1, the racing version, and somehow another SLS AMG GT3, two here at this event, and I feel like I've never seen more than 5 in my life, so quite cool to see 2 in under 10 minutes. A very cool racing pair right here. And finally at the Simon Kingston stand, I mean, very quickly, check out that purple suit over there. They have probably the most expensive car here in the show, the white 250 GTO, with so many people, but that suit is crazy. And here we find a 962 Chopin. Very, very rare. Only the second one I've ever seen. And then there is the main man himself, Simon Kingston. It's always good to see a Bugatti Veyron, especially a new one. Looks lovely in the dark blue. And then here's the better look at the Bugatti Veyron hiding over here. This is a 963, and as you can see, people love to get in the way. 250 GTO, I believe the version 2 of when they created the GTO. That's why it's a different shape. I can happily say I've never seen one of these before. And yeah, hearing about it today, and this is why it's their centerpiece. It is very special, and I dread to think how much this thing costs. Now, the funny thing about Retromobile is the majority of cars are old, classic, you know, absolute legend cars that I should know facts of. But I mainly come here as the 2 days clash with RM Sotheby's, which of course a lot of the hypercars come up for sale. That's what I go for. However, the older I get, the more I try and learn more knowledge about these older cars. However, behind me literally just looks like Brum. I have no clue, although there's a very cool duo of two 300 SLs. So what I'm trying to say is you're gonna have to excuse me if I get some of these facts wrong in this video. I am not saying that I am any sort of expert in this genre of cars, although I'm trying my best. Luckily, most of these cars have signs on, but there might be a few slips up that I make. But the main thing is showing you guys around. If you guys can't make these events, that's why I bring you my vlogs, because I'm very grateful for what I do in this traveling. So I try and film much as I can and show you guys a tour of what I get to see. And to be fair, everything you see in this video is about 5% of the cars here. This show is so big, it will take me about a good 4 hours to go around. But we're finally coming up to probably the closest dealership to my house from here, Joe Macari from London. And yeah, that right there is an F1 GTR, which I need to check out. So I am literally over the moon to finally see the F1 GTR 4R. And to be fair, under these lights on the Macari stand, it actually looks pink, but it's in the Lark livery. Yeah, this to me, or whenever you see a new F1, is just perfect. I mean, that rear literally looks pink, but I've never seen 4R before. It's quite a secretive one. The owner has a few F1s in London, but now here in Retromobile in Paris, I can finally say I've seen this F1. And it's very cool to see one of my favorite cars ever, the CLKLM, once again. They've actually removed a lot of the stickers of it, and the more crazy fact is this is also road legal. As you can see, there's a running trend that all these crazy Le Mans winning cars, these racing cars, are being converted into road legal, because I guess why not? And like the GT1, how on earth are you supposed to drive this on the streets of London? I don't know, but Joe Macari actually did. Potentially the greatest of all time, and there's a lot of reasons why this particular 917 could be the actual GOAT. This is a genuine 917K from 1971 that is road legal. Now, the price of this, I have heard rumours that part of his collection he has a 250 GTO, which as we all know is like 50, 60 million, or you know, the crazy amount of money. This is worth more, and the history of this used to be on Texas plates. You know, you can go into detail of this and find this one on Google. As you know, in detail-wise, I don't know crazy amounts of it. All I know is this is one of the greatest of all times, this particular car. And to see this again, which I last saw at Goodwood 2019, is such a treat. I'm so happy to see this again. We have another Countach over here, and here we find the Jaguar XJ220, but the special C Le Mans version. It is all stickered up livery, which used to obviously race at Le Mans, and now it's sat on a stand. It's such a shame, you know, these race cars that used to race all these famous races, and now they find themselves sat in showrooms. But I guess that's cool about seeing these cars with cool histories, and why I guess I have to agree that classic cars are a lot better, because they do hold some cool memories instead of these hypercars just going up in price. Now bumped into one of my favorite cars ever, the Land Yacht, and I guess the Enzo's biggest brother, the Maserati MC12. which is really cool to have actually the roof off once. And what a stunning example. And this one is actually on the RM Sotheby's stand, which this will be going up for sale. Apparently around 4 to 5 million euros it is estimated, which is crazy. But this is a true unicorn. This is a top 3 car of all time for me. Zonda, CLK GTR and MC12. Just, you know, there's no words for this car. Again, it's just so long, but so cool. And like I said before, very cool to actually see the roof off this example. So even on the preview evening, look how busy it is. I mean, we have got a lovely pink 300 SL, but there's no way I am getting in here. I mean, I think it's invite only, and the way I'm dressed, I don't think I'm going to blend in very well. But there's, you know, so many Ferraris here, classics, hypercars. I can't show you every single one, but while I go through and try and tick off as much as I want on my list, I'll try and bring you guys with me and show you most of Retromobile. Then over here we find ourselves with another Ferrari F40 and a black 300 SL. And on the Richard Mille stand, they then have the winning 2023 Le Mans racing car, which was the Ferrari 499P. Ferrari won it last year, now Lamborghini are entering this year. It'll be interesting to see a Ferrari versus Lamborghini once again. This might be one of my favourite SV specs, just because how well this red pops under these lights. It kind of looks like Rosso Dubai. It's a very deep Ferrari red, it looks like, but yeah. Also really rare to see an SV Roadster these days, so can't complain. And also next to a Countach. So behind me, I am so happy to say I didn't actually know this car was here, and I'm actually in a completely different hall. But behind me is the first McLaren F1 I ever saw 12 years ago at the 2022 Chelsea Auto Legends, when I was like, well, I'm awful at maths. I must have been like 13 years old, but plus 13, that means I'm 25 and I'm 22 years old. I don't know how old I was. But behind me is the F1 GTR Caesar, and if I spin the camera around, this is one of my favourite F1s ever, and like I said, the first F1 I ever saw when I was younger, and Dad took me to the events. And the livery it's in is completely all hand painted, and given the name Caesar, which it's most famous for, if you go around here, you will see the number plate is Caesar. And just, yeah, it is the top dog, the best car here for Retromobile this year. And the F1 we filmed earlier in the Lark livery, this is also the same owner. And like I said before, he owns a few F1s. Well, he owns this as well. So, you know, he's won live, he's got Caesar. But yeah, I am over the moon to see the F1 GTR Caesar again. Who knows when I'll next see it? I hope it's not another 12 years. Hopefully I'll see it another point down the line. But for now, I'm just gonna take it all in, see this hand-painted art. It's one of these cars that is complete art, and yeah, take it all in, and yeah, this has absolutely made the trip. So there we have it. I am exhausted of 3 hours non-stop here tonight, the preview night. It's only 10 p.m. and yeah, I think I've seen everything, or caught most things on camera to show you guys. Obviously I can't cover the entire event, otherwise this would be about 3 hours long. But I hope you guys enjoyed this video. We also end on something very cool, a 959 Dakar, which has been a proper off-roading. Anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed this vlog. Please give it a like, please share, and please subscribe if you haven't already. I very much enjoyed coming back here, and tomorrow I'm at RM Sotheby's and checking some of the dealerships out. Hopefully Charles Pozzi, who's a big Ferrari dealership, and hopefully we can see their service and storage. So if you want to see more content like that, head over to my Instagram, which is SUPERCARS. And yeah, hopefully I'll see you guys in the next vlog somewhere hopefully special.